Welcome to Mardu Hammer. As far as opening hand goes, yeah, looks good. I'm gonna keep on this one. We've got double Carnival. I love Carnival. It's just like I can feel us like as a planeswalker, just like just wisping out just a little bit of that. If there's a one drop creature out there, 1/1 creature, it always feels good going for that. Let's get down Godless Shrine. Yes, have that come into play tap. We get down Godless Shrine, and then all of our other lands will come into play on tap. Now we do have double light up the stage. This was kind of a interesting opening hand. We didn't really have a ton of creatures or planeswalkers, but with double light up the stage and double discard like that, and we'll take it. And it looks like we're playing against Temur Gates, so we're definitely going to have the our work cut out for us. So let's go Dragon Skull Summit, and then pass the turn. But it's definitely really good to have Cleansing Nova, because when you're playing against Temur, especially Temur Gates, there's a lot of guild summits that you want to get rid of. There's the artifacts that are the Gate Colossus. You want to try to get those into the graveyard. Typically, you want to save your Vraska's Contempt for those Gate Colossus because, man, if they're just hard to get rid of. And there we go. That's what we're talking about, Guild Summit. So this would be a perfect opportunity for us. Instead of going for light up the stage, we're going to go for Mortify. And that way we can just get rid of any sort of... you just cash in a card draw every single turn. It's just hard to do anything. Now, this does put us on Carnage. So next turn, we can go for Carnage. And this is kind of like Ingrath copy 5, 6, and 7. We're running Carnival in here to catch a little one-drop creature if we need to. But we can use the Carnage side just to really attack our opponent's hand. Because by the time we're online for 4 mana with Carnage, most of our opponents made their land drops. They've gotten down. They're usually getting down to the core of their hand that they really need to keep. So typically, if we can follow up with double Carnage, then there we go. So our opponent did chunk a Gate Colossus. That's the only downside about Gate Colossus is that if they get a gate down, they can bring it back. But let's see what they're going to go for. We're still going to try to go for Ooh, okay, so they're going to go for Guild Summit. And they end up tapping in a few extra to draw some more cards. Now, with Carnival and Carnage, you have to tap out 5 total mana. You have to X is 5 for Electro Dominance. So that's something you do need to keep in mind. And I think we still end up going for a Carnage. That's going to be an extra 3 damage, make them discard 2 more cards. We could try to, if we hit the lane for the turn and went for light up the stage, that would be awesome. But we really want to just really get rid of as many cards as hand and force our opponent to go into top deck mode. That's going to be one of our main ways to kind of beat this. All right, so Gatebreaker Rams going into the graveyard, and then we saw the Gates Ablaze too. But you can see where, them simply just having Guild Summit on the battlefield, they just going for a land drop. That's going to really kind of stop our game plan of making sure that they just can't do anything. But if we end up oh, there we go. Look at that land drop. So let's go and shock this one in. We're going to pay 2 life. And let's go Cleansing Nova. Destroy all artifacts and enchantments. Oh, look at that. That feels good. Okay. Now, we do have Bell Haunt to get down. So we can go for Bell Haunt. If we end up hitting the land drop, which we actually just send some damage up top and drop it in really quick, I think that sounds pretty good, because it's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We could go double light up the stage. I think I like going Bell Haunt. Yeah, that's going to be good. X is going to be 4. I love Electro Dominance in this deck. It's just such a fun card, and just getting a 2 for 1 like that. We're going to gain some life, make them discard a card. You can see, we cut off what Temur wants to do, and that's just basically just get as much value as possible. If we can stop that from happening, we're definitely good. And if they don't get anything else down, then we've got double light up the stage, which is, I think that's pretty good. So let's go for light up the stage. We'll see if we can't run into another land drop. Unfortunately, we do not. Let's go for one more light up the stage. Rekindling Phoenix, and one more Electro Dominant. So now, as far as next turn goes, I was hoping to hit a land drop to get down. If we don't, that's fine. I think at this point we just go Doom Whisper, because one of the things that you can do with this deck is be super aggressive with Doom Whisper, and I think that's exactly what we want to end up going for. All right, so we're going to go for Doom Whisper, because we get to this point to where we can get down Angrath, we can really just be super aggressive with our life total. Now that we've kind of put our opponent in top deck mode, we can just dig for some sort of answer just to kind of keep this going. With them just passing the turn, I'm loving this. So we might want to try to dig for a Carnage. You know what, let's go for that. Let's go for Surveil. And, ooh, so Angrath is on top. Yeah, that is really... That's a good card. So we're going to put Angrath on top. We could dig for Carnage to really kind of attack their hand, but I like this. This gives us a really good threat to our opponent. We can just basically keep plussing up. If they want to get down something like All right, so they have cancel. That's fun. We'll trade a cancel for that, and that'll give us a good opportunity for Doom Whisper to let's go and push in for 6. It's going to put them down to 10, and then pass the turn. So basically, we're going to Doom Whisper for Carnival, probably Carnage. That way we can get rid of the last. All right, Opponent's going to scoop it up on this one, so you can see where with this deck, you even to get something like Temur Gates, where they want to get down Guild Summit, we can really keep them in check with Mortify and just really put them in top deck mode. It's hard for Gates to do anything outside of that. The line of play I was talking about with Doom Whisper is that once you get into this top deck mode, our opponent has nothing to get down, you can be super aggressive with Doom Whispering. You can get your life total down into the single digits. There is an inherent risk to doing that, but doing that, it's going to allow you to find whatever sort of answer that you want, because basically it's just like a tutor card. You can just, all right, we need to find Carnival, and then we can make them get rid of the last cards in their hand, keep swinging in with Doom Whisper. So anyways, welcome to Mardu Hammers. As far as opening hand goes, yeah, this is pretty clunky. If we had 3 lands, I would be really tempted to keep on this one, but if we don't hit that, man, we just don't go anywhere quick. So I'm going to go in mulligan. Yes, we'll keep on this one. We've got 3 pieces of removal. We have our mana base. We do need to hit one more black source and Angrath on top. Yeah, let's go in. That might come back to bite us, but we're okay with that. So we'll get down Sacred Foundry, have that come into play tapped, and then we'll kick it back over there. But yeah, so I don't know how I'm going to splice these videos together, but if you haven't seen the mono green game, I just got done with that one, and that was some fun. Some fun. We drawn the. Oh no, excuse me. I thought we already ripped into that one. We get down. I guess at this point we can go for Clifftop Retreat. Yeah, we'll get that down, and then we'll just keep our fingers crossed that we run into a 4th lane drop and then a 5th lane drop, and then we get down Angrath and hopefully keep the board pretty clear. We'll see what our opponent's on. We're going to see Fountain of Renewal. We'll see Mono Blue. I wonder if this is it could be some sort of Tezzeret build. I've got a Mono Blue Artifact Tezzeret build that's a ton of fun to play. And I think at this point, yeah, we'll just go and kick it over there. There's nothing really we can do. We do have Bedevil, but we need at least one more black source to go for Bedevil to get rid of that treasure map. That would be a really good option for us to go for, because with treasure map, they're going to put a scry counter on there, a landmark counter, whatever it's called. And once they get those counters on there, it's going to flip. It gives them an extra land. At the same time, they can start to sacrifice some of those treasure tokens to cash in some card draw. So that's not really something that we want in this particular deck. This deck really wants to use Bedevil, Mortify, just kind of clear the board out. And then once we get down Angrath, just really kind of take over the game and just kind of put them into top deck mode. All right, so we drawn to light up the stage, which is a wonderful draw. We're not hitting our land. And there we go. We get to run into Mountain. So we'll get down Mountain. Would have liked to see a black source, but at this point, this is going to hopefully allow us to get down the 5th lane drop, and then we can start to go for Angrath. Now, we do have a super secret exiled Angrath off to the side, and then regular Angrath in our hand. So hopefully we can get down Angrath. If we hit the lane drops, fingers crossed, then we'll be able to get that down and then have backup. So yeah, it looks like we're planning to get some sort of blue-red... blue-red artifact, oh, there we go, hit the land. So we get down Isolated Chapel, we go for Angrath out of the side. So I think at this point, what we're going to do is we're going to go for Fountain of Renewal. We're going to gain control of, if you would have told me before the game that we're going to gain control of a Fountain of Renewal that's a 5/5, I would have been like, okay. All right, so we're going to swing it for 5, and we'll see if the skilled animator is not so skilled in blocking his fountain. That would be a pretty good job by a skilled animator to turn an entire, fountain into a... the student... I just love, the student beats the teacher now. So anyway, all right, so we're going to take care of that one. Hopefully we can still, this is another good thing about this deck, is that we can go for the +1 to get rid of any sort of extra stuff out of their hand, and then recast Angrath. Now with Joyra being, okay, Joyra will end up being 4 mana, so we're not going to be able to go for the gain control ability, but we do want to cut off that card draw as quickly as possible. So let's go for the +1. Each opponent discards a card. They're going to lose 2 life, and then I think we'll just straight up end up going for Mortify. I think that would be the best bet. Yeah, let's do that. So we're going to go for Mortify. Or if we want to, we can go for Restless Contempt to gain a little bit of extra life. We can go Electro Dominance for 2. I think we want to hold on to Electro Dominance. So let's just go for a Mortify while they're tapped out. We're going to go Mortify on Joyra. If they end up getting down a ton of artifacts, start cashing in a lot of card draw, it's going to be really hard for us to... kind of stabilized. But this is exactly where we want this deck at this point right now. We still have Bedevil potentially on Treasure Map, but if we can just go Angrath +1 next turn and then get down to Angrath and go +1 again, each opponent discards a card, then that'll make it really hard for them to just get anything established. Now, unfortunately, they did get that Treasure Map turned online, so they're going to be able to cash in some card draw. But at least we can take care of the next Treasure Map once they get that down. But this is a pretty cool build by our opponent. And, basically, people always talk about Arena, trying to grind Arena into Mythic. And I play so many different decks for the channel that I'm recording stuff for that I've just found that between playing a subpar deck and a good deck sometimes, I basically just kind of hover around the gold spot, and I don't know, it's pretty cool. It's really fun. It's kind of fun area to be in. You see some cool stuff. Let's go for the +1. Each opponent's going to discard a card and lose 2 life. We will end up going for this Bedevil. We could try to set up an Electro Dominance in addition to that, but I think at this point we just really want to stop any sort of extra card draw that they can get going. And then once again, we can get on Angrath, go for that +1, actually get ahead on what we have on our Angrath currently, and then anything else, kick it back over to our opponent. So yeah, this is very much, this deck feels a lot, if you've played Modern, this deck feels a lot like Jund in Modern. There's a lot of, burn your early Thoughtseizes, 2-for-1s, just get rid of everything on the battlefield, and then just get down Liliana and make them discard a card. Every single turn, they're in top deck mode. That's kind of what Angrath does. This technically, all right, opponent's going to scoop it up, we've got the lock going, and you just end up in a point to where, get down Angrath and you keep plussing up, and just put the hard lock on them. And even if our opponent does get down some sort of creature, whatever, we've still got to mortify and a whole option of stuff in our opening hand. But anyways, I will see you in the next game. Welcome to Mardu Hammers. As far as opening hand goes, we don't have a second black source for Kaya's Wrath, but yeah, we'll keep on this one. Or Vraska's Contempt. Hopefully we get lucky and get another one, but I like this. This is not too bad. Having some spot removal and a board wipe, that's always a good thing to start off with. So let's go and lead off with Godless Shrine. We're going to have this enter the battlefield tapped, and then we're going to go and pass the turn over to our opponent. So if you haven't seen this deck before, this is going to be a gameplay video. I've already done a deck tech on it. Ooh, light up the stage. That is exactly what we want to see. Let's go Sacred Foundry. Have that enter the battlefield tapped. Yes, that is correct. And kick back over there. But yeah, long story short, this is just basically like a pretty not aggressive deck, but a really disruptive deck. Not necessarily hand disruption, but making them discard cards. I mean, it's a fun deck to pilot. There we go. Star of the show, Angrath. We get down, make them discard some cards, get rid of whatever creatures they get down, just use Angrath to make sure they can never rebuild. And our opponent loves it, and we love it, and everybody just have some fun. And not really. It's all right. So we did have to go for light up the stage. That does give us our second black source. Looks like we're playing against mono green, so hopefully they deploy out into this board state a little bit more, because this Kaya's Wrath is going to feel really good. Man, when you go when you go Kaya's Wrath and followed up by Angrath and really just start attacking your opponent's hand, whoa. That's some good magic. All right, so we're going to play this Isolated Chapel. We're going to lose that Sacred Foundry, unfortunately, but we've got our mana base at this point. So let's go Kaya's Wrath. Let's blow this board up, hit the reset button, and then next turn we're going to be able to go for Angrath and really start attacking our opponent's hand. What this deck does is, we want to start blowing stuff up. We got Trollbred Guardian coming down. Has Trample, okay. And we go for Isolated Chapel. I think we want to... So that's going to be a 5 converted mana cost. We could almost end up going for Vraska's Contempt, I think. You know what? Let's kind of leave open the... We have 1, 2, 3. We've got 5 total mana. Let's leave up the line of play for them to go for the adaptability. If they want to swing in for 5, we can take a hit for 5. The main thing is we're playing against mono green. I want to see if they've got some sort of enchantment. All right, there we go. So let's go Vraska's Contempt in response to that. We're going to exile that creature. That way they just chewed up a little bit of their mana, and we don't have to worry about anything else. And then we can safely kind of roll out Angrath and Sapling Migrate. Okay, we can survive a few of those saplings. So we get down Mountain. That's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, at this point, let's go Angrath because we can start making them discard cards. And those little saplings, it's going to be a while till they can start taking care of Angrath. And technically they're sap rollings, but that R doesn't roll off my tongue very well, and it sounds funny, so I like to call them saplings. So that's what they are. If you're sitting there saying, hey, well, what about this? There's an R in there. Well, yeah, I know. It's just and it sounds weird to me. I don't know. All right, and our opponents, they're not going for it. They're just straight up just letting this go through. So let's go for the +1 from Angrath. Each opponent discards a card. Now, if they decide to swing in with Vinemere, what we're going to do is go for Electro Dominance. Yeah, we can drop in a quick Rekindling Phoenix. Yeah. So Electro Dominance, this is one of those cards. If you haven't seen the deck, in fact, oh yeah, I need to finish that statement. Yeah, if you want to see the deck tech for this, if you go check out the older video, or the previous one, there's a deck tech at the beginning, you can see some more gameplay. But one of the cool things about this is Electro Dominance. This card feels so good. So we're going to go, X is going to be 4. And I think we just want to send this up top. Yeah, that's fine. 4 damage up top. Let's get a free Rekindling Phoenix jumping out of the woodworks. And let's go for a Rekindling Phoenix on... Oh, hold on. There we go. All right, so I was like, oh, we can't block. I was like, we did that before. All right, so opponent's going to scoop it up on that. All right, so there we go. So there's a lot of little short games when you play an arena. Oh, and are we going to rank up? Looks like we ranked up. Wow, look at that. All right, so we get a gold tier 3. But anyway, I'll see you in the next game.